A recipe from my new cookbook, which is Foolproof One Pot, which has been out for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to be cooking my spaghetti with fennel, lemon, and mint. A really nice, simple recipe, all cooked in one pot, so easy on the washing up.
What are you saying, that you're going to be eating from the pot as well, or you're going to be?
No, I'll probably put it into bowls afterwards.
Great. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to go into details about this dish that you're going to be cooking. Okay, so after Alan finished with his dish, I'm going to be introducing my 4-spice chicken curry. Okay, so this is something that you don't have to depend on the ready-made curry powder. You can make it yourself. Yeah, so you're gonna watch me how to cook this, a very simple curry dish. Okay, Alan, perhaps you want to tell a bit about yourself then. I'm sure
Sure. So Norman and I met each other about 5 years ago at Leith School of Food and Wine, which is a cookery school in London. So I have been cooking one-pot meals and writing about them for quite a number of years. I used to have a business that sold little pots of stews in farmers markets and supermarkets in the UK. And I wrote my first cookbook, which was called Ultimate One-Pot Dishes, and started cooking and teaching one-pot meals at Leith School of Food and Wine, which is where I met Norman. And then since then, I've gone on to do various different things. I do quite a lot of catering, I do some supper clubs and some writing. And recently, my latest cookbook, which is on the same theme, Ultimate One-Pot Dishes, which you can buy from Amazon, also directly from my website, and various others. So the book was released at middle of February, really exciting, some great feedback. So the recipe that I'm cooking for you today is taken directly from the book. And I decided to do a recipe that we can cook in 20 minutes. It's a one-pot pasta recipe, and it's quite an unusual way of cooking pasta. I used to always think, you have to cook your pasta, spaghetti, whatever it may be, in one pot, and then your sauce element in another. But actually, with this method, everything goes in the one pot, so you don't have to wash up. It's too many things. It's delicious, but it's simple. And as we were discussing with Norman last, it's not for lazy people; it's for busy people. So you can get
one of the followers say that it's for someone lazy like her, but it's not for lazy people; it's for busy people. We want to correct
busy
that.
People. Yes, exactly.
And with the followers on the Instagram, the better is it sound. So is the sound better now? Because someone said that the sound is not very clear. So I can hear. Yeah. Let me just try to. I think I can hear the echoes, which is not great. Okay. Is it better now? I hope so. No, sorry, we still get echo. Right. Okay, Alan. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna on the Instagram. We're gonna go back. We're gonna. Shortly, because I'm gonna try to get rid of the echo here.
You want me to go out of Instagram?
Yes, please. Thanks. Let's sort this out first.
Modern technology.
So sorry about that. Let's sort this out first. These things happen anyway, so God. Okay. Right. What I'm gonna do is, so I'm gonna lift this, and then I'm gonna go on this phone. So live.
You're trying a new phone, Norman?
I'm sorry?
You're trying a different phone?
Yeah, I am now, actually. Because that was from my iPad, so it was a bit, it's rather bad, actually. So I'm live now on Instagram again, so let's check.
Okay, I'm just asking you to accept me, request to join, send request. I'm shaking.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay,
view request.
Right, I missed that. View request. Okay. You should be in. Let's have a look. Yeah?
Is that better? I think it sounds better.
Okay, right. Should be okay now. Okay, welcome back. Anyway, so hopefully we're gonna get all the viewers that we kind of lost. I'm sure they're gonna come back anyway, joining us. So Alan, unfortunately, you have to explain again what you're gonna be cooking today, very briefly. Okay, so we're gonna do that on Instagram. Yeah,
I think
so
this
let's
is the
do
fourth time. So I'm going to be
for the fourth
cooking
time.
a one-pot spaghetti dish made with lemon, fennel, and mint, taken from my cookbook, Ultimate One Pot Dishes. No, that's the old one, Foolproof One Pot, which came out 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And actually, if you live in Holland, there's a Dutch version coming out in September. So if you don't speak that good English, then you can get it over in Holland as well. But currently, you can buy it pretty much everywhere on Amazon in the English language.
Good. So after Alan finished with this dish, I'm going to be introducing this 4-spice chicken curry, right? So this is very simple curry that you can try at home. I've just heard my window just banging because it's very strong wind today. So I went out to the market today. So it was crazy. It's like nearly blown away by the strong wind. Anyway, just briefly about the weather. So 4-spice chicken curry that I'm going to be introducing. The recipe is from my recipe calendar that I publish with 12 delicious curry recipes actually. So you can go to my website www.normanmusa.com and then you can find out more about my calendar. Right, Alan, I'm not going to stop you, delay any more time, but I'm sure like everyone's want to watch you cooking this delicious one-pot dish. So whenever you're ready,
All right, so
okay?
I'm just going to move the Instagram followers so that they can see my chopping of pots and things. Okay, well done. Now.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, reading any questions that the viewers have on the Instagram and also on the YouTube. Yeah. So we're going to do that. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a better video. So the Instagram followers can see the close-up. So if you're watching from Facebook, right? So anyone watching from Facebook, so please share this. Okay. So I'm sure like your friends would like to learn how to make this one-pot very easy, right? For busy people, one-pot spaghetti dish.
Exactly. For very busy people, right? So to cook this recipe, you just need a few simple ingredients. Obviously, we need some spaghetti. I've got 350 grams of spaghetti here. We need 1.1 liters of water. We need some fennel. This is going to be about 250 grams of cut fennel. An onion, which I'm going to finely slice, and then later into the recipe, I'll be adding some lemon, garlic, and Parmesan cheese and black pepper. So the first thing I'm just going to do is turn my hob on. In the pan here, I've got a shallow pan with 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm just warming that up whilst I get on with the other parts of the recipe. So I'm going to chop up my onion. Now, I need to finely slice this onion. Sorry to teach people how to suck eggs, but in case you don't know about chopping onions, the easiest way, in my opinion, but everyone has their own method, I like to cut my onions straight from the top to the bottom. Then I take the tip off, and then I'll just remove the skin quite easily. But what's important is I've left the root intact, and what that does is it prevents the onion from falling apart when I'm chopping it, or slicing it in this case, which is really important because it prevents you from cutting yourself or from the knife from slipping. So then all I'm going to do is slice down my onion. Hopefully I don't cut myself on live TV, which would be a shame. Just nicely sliced, pretty fine.
Alan, can I interrupt you for a bit? The camera for the Instagram, can you just position it? Yeah, so because they can see your elbow only. So
is that better?
Yeah. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Instagram people.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my onion. This fennel, similar sort of method. Just going to cut it from the top to the bottom, keeping the root intact, and then a nice thin slice. I love fennel. It's a really delicious, kind of aromatic vegetable, lovely cold, not cooked, raw, as well as cooked.
What can you replace if you didn't have the fennel bulb?
If you didn't have the fennel, then I'd use something like perhaps some chicory.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking chicory. Do you know that in the Netherlands, the Dutch, I mean, they love chicory. I mean, there's plenty here.
You could also use some celery as well. It's not as glamorous, but you could use celery. Yeah. So my pan is heated up now. I'm just checking that Instagram can see. Can you see the pot? No.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can see the pot as well now. Yeah.
Okay, so into my pot, I'm going to add the vegetables. Mm-hmm. And this is going to just cook for about 5 minutes. Okay. Just to soften. So for this particular recipe, it's quite important to have a pan this shape. You want a nice wide, shallow pan. And the reason for that is, obviously, we're using spaghetti, and the spaghetti needs a wide pan for it to fit into. So if you don't have a pan like this, then I would recommend using a different kind of pasta, using a short, farfalle or fusilli, anything like that. It will still work. Just you can use it. You can cook it in a smaller pan. Now, whilst my onions and fennel are cooking, I'm just gonna start preparing my garlic. So the recipe asks for 4 garlic cloves. Well, I've got quite a big garlic clove here, so I've only got 3. I'm going to use 3. You could use 4, you could use 5, you could use 2. It's this kind of recipe. It's not going to ruin if you use slightly under or slightly more. This is a clever little tool if you've not seen one of these before, but I'm sure most of you have. It's called a microplane. It's just really good for grating garlic or ginger or grating cheese, maybe nutmeg, all sorts of things like that.
Okay. Just to let you know that we still have many people watching from Malaysia. So Waalaikumsalam.
Oh, great.
It's rather late. It's about like 1:45 in the morning.
It is late.
Thank you so much for staying up to watch us cooking, actually.
I'm sure they're there for you, Norman, not for me, all the way in Malaysia. But
sorry, at the beginning, Alan, did you put any oil to begin with before you start frying?
Yeah. Yes, so there was 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil went in there.
Okay.
Yeah. You want a nice olive oil with some full flavour. The heat's not so hot that it's going to burn. I'm just going to move the computer a little bit closer to the laptop I've got here, which is filming the pan. I'm going to just bring it a little bit closer, so hopefully you'll have a better view of what I'm cooking. This is very homemade here. So hopefully that is a little bit better. Now you should be able to see 2 things going on at once.
And also, what we're going to do is when you're having a bit of time, right? So while waiting for your dish to cook, and we're going to talk about your trip to Malaysia. That's rather exciting, actually.
Yeah. So I got a reminder on Facebook earlier, quite coincidentally, that this time 3 years ago I was actually in Kuala Lumpur on a trip to Malaysia and Indonesia. Yeah. So I think I just arrived in Malaysia and started off in Kuala Lumpur. So I was apparently in Chow Kit Market this time last year, or 3 years ago, I should say, which was a pretty exciting market to be in, just so different from anything over here. But my trip to Malaysia really blew me away from
Did you go to the market? I think it must be quite busy, and there's a lot of people obviously in the morning.
It was super busy, and then afterwards I also went to the the night markets for food. It was just me on my own, so I ended up ordering far too much food for just one, which probably people looked at me and thought, you know, what is he? What's wrong with him? So this, as you can see, is softening down, starting to soften down. I just want to give it another minute or so before I add the garlic.
Okay.
But no, I miss my trips to Southeast Asia. It's it's a shame we can't travel at all at the moment. But hopefully, in the not too distant future, we can make trips like that again.
Now you mean Lan say that Malaysian breakfast are the best. Yes, I have to agree with that. So especially nasi lemak. Yeah.
I went to Penang after Kuala Lumpur and just had the most incredible breakfast there. And I was staying in Little India, so had this roti for breakfast with delicious little curries and super, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I guess everyone's waiting when they can travel back again.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so you can see the vegetables have started cooking down quite nicely. Maybe it's a couple of minutes ahead of schedule, but you know, I'm conscious of timing. I'm going to add some the garlic that I grated before. So that's going in. I'll just give that a minute. And now this slightly strange element to this recipe begins, because what I'm going to do now is, rather than sort of start cooking pasta in boiling water, I start this recipe actually with cold water.
Cold water?
Yeah. So I've got 1.1 litres of cold water here, and that's going straight into the pan.
Is there any reason why you start with the cold water?
Yeah, because this recipe all depends on evaporation and the right amount of liquid from the get-go when the pasta goes in. What we're trying to do with this recipe is, as the pasta cooks, the water also evaporates. So by the end of the cooking time, it's the perfect consistency for the sauce and also for having cooked the pasta. But it needs to be cold, otherwise it evaporates too quickly at the start. So the water's gone in. I put 2 teaspoons of salt went in there, and now I'm going to crank up the temperature to very high, and then the pasta goes in. Now, you know, the first time I made this, I thought, well, this is really strange. This is not going to work, but it really does. The trick with this recipe now is to keep the pasta moving, because obviously this lump of pasta in the middle, it could all just clump together. So as soon as it goes in, it's important to just move it around a little bit. And what I'm trying to do is bring it up to boiling as quickly as I can, and then I'll turn the heat down slightly, and then continue turning the pasta with my tongs, just encouraging the bits of pasta to separate. This also means you don't have to wash up a colander either. You know, there's no draining of the pasta at all. It just it's just super simple. And you can use this style of cooking pasta for a lot of drier sauces. So when you're mixing, like I was doing with the vegetables at the start there, just mixing together some dry ingredients. There's no sauce necessarily. There's no real liquid content. And then you add the water and the pasta this way, and then build on the flavors. So afterwards, you're going to be building with lemon and parmesan and mint. And you can do it with various others. I have another recipe in my book, which is a mushroom smoked pancetta linguine. Very similar method. Onions going in at the start with some pancetta, which crispens off, and then gets cooked with the pasta and the water and the mushrooms, and it all cooks down to a delicious sauce. So this has started bubbling. Hopefully everyone can see from the different angles. Norman, let me know if I need to move my cameras.
No, it's fine. Now I'm
All
just
good.
trying to adjust a bit of a sound here because I think Naomi just said that it's a bit of a lapse of sound here. So let me just try to sort this out. Okay. Well, you
So,
can still keep
shall I
chatting.
carry
Yeah,
on?
it's fine. Yeah,
So
just carry on. It's fine.
I'm just going to prepare my lemon now. Just give me a second to take off the garlic from my microplane. I'm just going to wash that. So again, here's my handy microplane.
How about that, Naomi? I hope it's better now. Okay, just one thing, and I noticed, like, Alan, your recipe.
Yeah.
We've lost Alan's sound now, so that's strange. On the Instagram, they've lost your sound.
I don't think I've done anything.
Okay, so can you just say that?
This is the challenge with using multiple technology.
Naomi, can you hear Alan again? Hopefully you can now.
You can?
Well, I'm just waiting for her to come back and say whether she can hear you again. Should be okay now, I think.
Press anything.
It's my fault, actually. It's not your fault. It's fine.
Oh, Norman. You're trying to sabotage my first live cookery demo.
No, I put my AirPods on, and I think it picked up your sound. So anyway.
So you can see, just coming back to the pasta, so you can see it's started to do what pasta does, and it's starting to cook. It's getting softer. So I'm just twisting it around, just encouraging those strands not to touch, or not to get stuck, I should say. Let me just squeeze some lemon. So this is one whole lemon going in later in a bit, the zest and the juice. It's a really fresh spring and summery dish, this one.
Yeah. One thing sorry about your recipe is 1.1 liter of water, right?
Yeah.
It's actually the same amount of water that I use for my rice. So if it's like for 500 gram rice in like a long grain or basmati rice, I always use 1.1 liter of water. So it's the right amount, just enough water for the rice, actually. So there you go. It's the same thing for the spaghetti there. Yeah.
And one thing also I do, when the volume of water is quite important, so you want it to be exactly 1.1 liter water, you can actually weigh the water. Because grams and milliliters are exactly the same for water, not for things like oil. But if in doubt, rather than trying to measure 1.1 liter in a jug, which can be a bit tricky sometimes, just put it on a weighing scale, and then it's exactly right.
That's a good
tip. So at this stage, it's still, you're still sort of thinking, oh, this looks a bit unusual. What's going on? But the pasta is still about 5 minutes or so away from being cooked, by which time the liquid is going to have evaporated, which is what we want. You can see it's already getting thicker. It's not quite as much volume of water, and the fennel and the onions are still cooking a little bit. So whilst that continues to cook, I've got my lemon ready. There's quite a lot of Parmesan which is going in later. So this is a nice aged Parmesan. And then what I need to do is prepare some fresh mint. So I'm going to show you how to make what's called a chiffonade of mint. So chiffonade is a fancy term for finely sliced leaves, really. So the way to do it is you need to pick the mint leaves, or it could be basil leaves. Not for this recipe, obviously, but if you're doing a chiffonade, it can be a variety of things. And
this is a vegetarian dish, right?
Yeah, it's vegetarian. The Parmesan technically, it's not truly vegetarian because Parmesan contains an animal rennet, which is what solidifies, which hardens the cheese. But otherwise, it's vegetarian. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So chiffonade, you just pile the leaves up like this. I need 6 tablespoons of sort of not overly packed mint. I'm not doing this particularly well because they're all going all over the place.
Sorry, can you move your Instagram camera a bit so people can see the mint leaf that on the chopping board? Just that's good. Yeah.
That's better. So what you then do is just roll up your pile of mint, and then finely slice it like this, and then hey presto, you have a nice chiffonade of mint. I need a little bit more, so I'll just do that quickly. I'm just going to go back to the pasta. Can you see the pasta there? Sorry, Instagram. Yeah.
That's good. Yep.
See again, it's definitely thickening up, starting to go glossy. I'm just going to do one more tablespoon or so of mint. I'm conscious. I have a dog, a little black cockapoo, who's currently desperate to go in the garden because I think he's seen a fox out there. And he starts jumping up at the door, which he's just thinking about doing at the moment. So if you hear a strange squealing, it'll be his excitement about going out. I may have to put him out. Maybe I'll show you what he looks like. Okay.
We have Marvin watching from Breda, and then we have Richard and Trisha watching from London. We have Melissa watching from The Hague. Melissa cooked with me actually last week.
Hi, Melissa.
We have, Ludovic Martret. I don't know where he's watching from, but he said hello. He said hi. So Ludovic, if you can hear us, I mean, tell us where you're watching from.
I think I've got a few people from my world in there watching as well, but I can't. My eyesight's not good enough to see where.
It's okay. Once you finish cooking, and you can play around with your gadgets, and then you can read all the comments while I'm busy cooking. It'll be your turn after.
See what's happened now. So the liquid has almost all reduced. This all I've been cooking for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is add my lemon juice and mint very shortly. But what I quite like to do is just let this sit for a minute before I do that. And that just lets the final bit of water get absorbed by the pasta. So I'm going to turn that heat off. I'm going to just taste the strand of pasta as well. That's nicely al dente, which is what you want. So it's not the most exciting thing for you to see a pan just sat there doing nothing for 2 minutes. So let's pretend that it's done its 2 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is put in my mint straight in, the parmesan, all of that. And that parmesan will melt, creating a really delicious creamy sauce. And then the lemon juice, a good grind of black pepper.
So have you turned off the heat yet at this stage, or?
I've turned off the heat. Yeah.
Okay.
The heat is now off. And this you can start to see what's happening. It's just coming together.
Yep.
And that cheese starts to melt in.
So now on the Instagram, you can move the camera back to the pot. Sorry to boss you around.
No, that's all right. Sorry.
Yeah. Better. Yeah. So you got the parmesan, you got mint leaf, so all going in there.
Parmesan's gone in, the lemon zest, the lemon juice, and the mint. It could have some more mint, I think, as well. I was probably a bit stingy. I didn't quite get my 6 tablespoons in there. but it will still be delicious. And then this kind of dish, when you cook pasta like this, the longer you leave it, the thicker it's going to become. So if I was to leave this now for 20 minutes, more of that liquid's going to have absorbed. So it's quite important. You like all pasta dishes really, that it's time to eat it. When you've made it, that's when you want to eat it. And this is it really. This is my pasta. I'm going to have a little taste. Pasta with lemon juice, mint, and parmesan and fennel. I just need to get a fork. It's obviously really good to eat with more parmesan and olive oil drizzled on top. But it tastes how it's meant to taste. So I hope you enjoyed that and you got an idea of what the dish could be, and that you might be inspired to cook this after the show.
Great.
Thanks, Norman.
Good. So it's going to be my turn now to cook this 4-spice chicken curry. That's a very good timing that you have. You cook everything just about 30 minutes. Well,
was that good?
Minutes.
Okay. Phew.
Very good, actually. Right. So it's going to be my turn now, right? So I'm going to adjust the camera a bit. So I'm going to try to get a better angle so everyone can see. Right. So this is going to be camera. So this is going to be Instagram. And then what I'm going to do with the Instagram, so I'm going to do the close up. Let me see whether I can bring this in so people can see while I'm chopping all the ingredients. Hopefully they can. Nope. That's going to be quite tricky, actually. I'm going to do this. So because I need to angle. Okay, I know what to do. Let me just flip the camera. And let me see whether you can see the chopping board. Is that better?
Yeah, we can see on Instagram.
Huh? Oops. Can you see it on the Instagram better, the chopping board? Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, right. I'm going to run through the ingredients, what I have here, right? So, again, the reason why I call it 4-spice, I mean, for Malaysian cooking, we always kind of have this like a must of 4 type of spices, actually. So, first one is the cinnamon. Okay, and then we have the star anise. So I'm sure everyone knows what star anise is. And then we have cloves. So I'm gonna add in about 3 cloves. So cloves, and also cardamom, the green cardamom pot. I'm not gonna crush this cardamom because I don't want the flavor too strong. Yeah. So these are the 5 spices like we always have in our kitchen cupboard, actually. Yeah. And then to begin with, what I'm gonna do after this. I'm going to heat up the oil, and of course, I'm going to use the oil with all the spices. Then I have the shallot, which I'm just going to finely chop, and then the garlic, okay, the garlic, and also ginger, which I've already chopped. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to prepare all my ingredients. So let's just have. Oops. Right, so let's finish off with the shallot. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle the camera so you can see better. Yeah.
That's good.
So with this shallot, just going to be finely chopped. Again, I mean, it's like many options that you can do with this. You can always just blitz this with a fruit processor, or you can pound this in pestle and mortar. But I like a bit of a texture for this curry, so I'm just going to find. Are you
using banana shallots, Norman, or are they the little
banana shallots? If you don't have banana shallots, well, in Malaysia we like to use Asian shallots. They're even smaller.
The little round ones.
Yeah, it's a round one, very peppery and then stronger in flavor. But if you don't have shallots, you can just use onion. It's fine anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. So just gonna chop all this shallot. So like 3 basic ingredients like we always use in our curry: shallot, or you can use onion, yeah, ginger, and also garlic. These 3 things that you need for the curry.
Do you use galangal much for you in Malaysia?
It's for more like a stronger curry, like rendang, for example.
Yeah.
So galangal always pair up with lemongrass, actually.
Okay.
Just gonna transfer this back to the plate. Because like I told everyone before, like preparations always take a bit of a time, but when it comes to cooking, it's always like ever so quick. So now I'm just gonna chop the garlic. So 3 cloves of garlic. What was that?
I cooked your laksa not long ago. It was delicious.
Oh yeah, the laksa.
Yeah, really
it's
good.
funny, like since the lockdown, even since last year, I think my book's been purchased quite a lot actually, because people started cooking recipes for my cookbook, and then they keep tagging me, which I love to see that. Yeah, so a lot of people like been tagging me on the social media.
Something seems to have happened to Instagram. It's saying the live video has paused.
The light video is poor. Oh,
Live
sorry.
video.
It's a low battery because of low battery.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a poor connection. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Huh. Hang on. Let me try to go back to Wi-Fi.
Next time we'll do this in one room.
I know. You have to come here, or I have to fly over to London. No, something wrong with the Wi-Fi. I think we've lost quite a lot of people now. But let me just try to reconnect that. So,
it seems I can see people saying they've joined, so maybe it's come back.
Yeah. Let me just see. No, because I can see that people join again. Can you see that? It's just so weird. I think what I'm gonna do is, this is just so weird.
You're gonna go out and go in again.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. I'm gonna go out and then.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Right. Just give me a minute.
No problem.
Okay. So that's done.
Okay, I can see you. So
I was so excited with chopping and everything. My adrenaline just started, and it sounds like all this. Right, let me just try again. Okay, so we're gonna go live. Right. So do you want to send the invitation out? So I've just gone live again.
Yeah, everything's sort of behind. So, here we go. Right. It seems to think that I'm already on.
So I'm just waiting for Elena to join.
Okay, here we go. Request to join. I'm pressing request to join.
Okay, here we go.
Can you see me?
I can see you joining, and then not requesting yet.
It's not. There we go. There we go. It's now worked.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yeah. You back?
Let me just wait until you're in, and then. Yep. Okay. Good. Oh, thank God for that. Okay. I'm gonna put this back here. See that? Yeah. So I'm gonna finally chop this garlic.
How many cloves of garlic did you use, Norman?
3 cloves of garlic. Okay, that should be okay now. So I'm just gonna put back on the plate. Right. While I still have the chopping board, I'm gonna cut this tomato. So cut into 8. So this is going to give a bit of sourness to the curry as well. Okay. So I have here chicken thigh, right? So this is a boneless chicken thigh, right? So cut into a big chunk like this. So it's about 500 grams. This chicken thigh. If you want to use chicken on bones, it's fine, but it's just that the cooking time is going to be longer, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so we're ready to cook. Right, I'm going to run through with you all the spices that I have here. So all these ground spices. Can you see on the Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this close. I don't know what's the echoes. Okay, so I have here the coriander, ground cumin. Ground cumin, and also this is ground chili, fennel, turmeric, and mustard seeds. Okay, so there's 6 type of spices there. Right, so the spices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all together. And I'm going to add 100 ml of water. If you like it spicy, you can add more chili, ground chili. It's fine, you can do that. I don't like my food to be really spicy until my lips go burning and all that. So I have here water ready. So 100 ml is enough. So give a good mix. See that? I think I just made a mess on my floor.
So I recently started using spices in that way, actually, rehydrating them before you cook them. Why do you do it that way, Norman?
Sorry, say again.
I started using spices in that way about a year ago.
Yeah.
Why add water to the spices rather than throw them straight into the curry?
Because you're gonna burn the spices if
Yeah.
you put it straight into the hot oil. So yeah, and then again that's gonna make it bitter, your spices.
Yeah.
Right, let's put the heat on now. I'm gonna transfer this Instagram camera back to here. Let's see. Can you see the flame on the Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the oil. Okay. What I'm going to do, bring this. Oh, sorry, camera.
It gets confusing, doesn't it?
There you go. That's better. So this is the oil. You need about 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to start with the spices first, the 4 spices. Yeah, so we have the cinnamon. And then we have the cinnamon. Don't worry that if the oil is not hot enough, because you're going to hear that, like it starts sizzling. And you know that the oil is hot enough for the next batch of ingredients. So we have cloves. So all the spices like cardamom, clove, star anise, and also cinnamon. Yeah. Right, let me just bring the Instagram camera. So now you can see that it starts sizzling. We're ready for the next batch of ingredients. So we have the garlic, ginger, shallot, and also bay leaf. Again, like if you have curry leaf, that's actually my first option, my preference. But again, it's not easy to get curry leaf. So we're gonna cook this for a couple of minutes until it starts turning golden brown, and then we're ready to add in our spice. So now ready for the spice mix. Oops, sorry. It's going to be very spicy.
The chili getting up your nose.
Yeah, it is now. I'm gonna add salt. Just about half teaspoon is okay. You can always add a bit more if you want later. And also sugar. Just about half teaspoon is okay. Again, you don't have to add sugar in, it's fine. Okay. And then tamarind. If you don't have tamarind, you can just add in lime juice. It's fine. Now ready for my chicken. The chicken's going in. Oh god, that's going to be really spicy. Just going to add about 100 ml more water. Sorry. Okay, so the echo is very loud. So now we can wait for a few minutes for the chicken to be fully cooked, and then finish off with the tomato and also.
So Norman, do you cook it for long with the coconut milk, or just for a minute or two?
What's that? Sorry, Ale?
Do you just cook it for a minute or two once the coconut milk goes in later?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because again, the coconut milk, you don't want to overcook it.
Yeah.
That's a tip, important tip. You don't want to overcook the coconut milk.
And with coconut milk, what sort of percentage coconut extract do you try to use? Because it varies. In the UK, we have coconut milk that's anything from 25% coconut extract to 65%.
Yeah, a few good brands actually for coconut milk. My favorite one to use in the UK is Chaco, Thai brand. But here we have Tara. Tara brand is very, very good at it.
It looks lovely.
So now it's like a chicken, and the juice is going to come out, obviously, from the chicken. Makes it nice. Just put this back here. I'm trying to keep this camera away because it's you can hear the echoes. Hopefully we don't.
could you do this with, if you didn't want to do it with chicken, Norman, if you wanted to do it with a sort of meaty fish, obviously it wouldn't take as long to cook, but could you use a very similar recipe with a fish?
Or? I always think that the good kind of fish like to use like something oily like salmon and also mackerel. It's good for curry actually.
Yeah. The echo is gone now, I think.
Oh, it's gone now.
What's the name of this in Malaysian?
Well, it's just a chicken curry.
You were just voting, yeah.
Yeah, but again, this is my version is more simpler version. Chicken curry.
I'm pleased to use the chicken thighs as well.
Yeah, always good to use chicken thigh actually. Let me just yeah, a bit.
It's a shame I can't eat any of it.
Oh no, it's rather a lot actually. I'm gonna ask Sandy to come and pick it up. In case anyone's wondering who's Sandy, Sandy's behind like doing all this technical bit behind that backstage.
She's probably wishing she wasn't doing that tonight with all that echoes and movements and everything.
I know, it's kind of actually. I need to check with my phone after this episode.
Well, I mean, we'll save this for later, but I can't turn off the volume on either of my phones.
I don't think you can do that actually.
No, so I can hear, even if it's really, really low, I can still hear something. So it's very hard to avoid the echo.
Because once you get like two phones close to next to each other, then of course you can hear the echoes.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, right, with this curry, it's nice to kind of like simmer it for a long time, for at least for 30 minutes, and to get the juice like sorry, I'm just gonna put this phone away for a bit. To get the juice out from the chicken. So, but again, we don't have much time here. So I'm gonna finish off with coconut milk. Okay. Let's move this back. And then this one can go back in. Good work. Is that better?
Yeah.
So coconut milk in and tomato.
Good chef always cleans up after himself, you see?
You're happy now. So just get the tomato wheel and pan. That's it. Should be ready. Just gonna have a go see whether this is okay. That's good. You can see my head. It's like, yeah,
it looks good. I'm sure it's delicious.
I just need to cook. Well, again, you can have this with the spaghetti. Well, with the spaghetti, or you can have it with rice.
Yeah.
Rice obviously everybody's favorite. Oh, that's really good. Right. Let's bring this camera. Every time I bring that close,
yeah, it has a fit, doesn't it?
Let me just bring this camera in. So my shadow that. There you go.
Looking good.
So let's bring this up and you can see it better. Okay. Yeah, the chicken should be cooked now. Let me just quickly serve this.
Instagram is having a bit of an issue.
Instagram, hang on. I think because battery is low. Yeah. It's okay now?
Yeah.
God, that echoes is annoying. Let me just. For some reason, I need to hide this camera away. Better, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna finish off with so this is what I have for garnishing. So a bit of red chili that cut into julienne, and soak in a cold water, and some coriander as well. Yeah. Okay. Right, we're gonna start with the Instagram first camera. So that's the curry.
Really good. That's lovely.
Okay. Nice and with coriander. Right. So we're gonna say goodbye to the Instagram followers now. Okay. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna post this on the Instagram account. So you can watch it. I know it's been annoying with all the technical issues anyway. Okay.
Bye.
Bye for the Instagram followers. Bye for now. Excuse me. Right, let's sort this out first. Okay.
All right.
Right.
We're back.
Back here.
Just the one platform now. This is much easier.
So just one camera now is good. Yeah. So let me just bring it close up, and then you can see it better. So that's the curry. So the recipe is on my color. So you can. What's that, Ellen?
Really nice color.
Thank you so much. I don't know who's gonna eat all that, so because I still have plenty of food in the fridge actually. So Ellen, yeah. So thanks for joining anyway. So I hope we have kind of inspired and also annoyed people at the same time with our technical issues. But again, don't worry, we'll be back. Okay, so to annoy you and inspire you at the same time. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. So we have about like 40 seconds left. Is there anything that you want to say to the viewers?
Just thanks for tuning in. Follow me, of course, on Instagram, alan.rosenthal, and on Twitter if you like as well. It's Alan Rosenthal 3. And don't forget my cookbook, Foolproof One Pot Dishes, available on Amazon and various others if you're in the UK. And there will be a Dutch version coming very soon.
Great. Okay. So thanks, Alan, for joining. Yeah. So
pleasure.
And with this, we're going to say goodbye now. And don't forget to join me again with Bada. He's going to be cooking Asian risotto next week on Thursday. Okay? So bye.
Bye.